Hi everyone, so we're going to be looking at how we can add spline to our Next.js mini little site. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to open up a brand new terminal and I'm going to create a new Next.js project. I'm going to say no to all the options, no, and no app router, and don't worry about the import alias. And once this is done, I'm just going to drag and drop the folder over into Visual Studio Code. What I'll do is I'm just going to fix a few things here. I'm going to just make my globals an empty root, and I'll add the home in the home.module.css. I'm just going to delete everything under the main, make that 20 view height. I just want to start with something really basic and nothing in the styles. And then I'm going to go to my pages, and here I'm just going to make a few changes as well. I just want to get the bare bones of this application. I'll just delete that head, and then I'll delete everything in between the main tag. And then I'll delete this inter and these areas here. I don't need any of that imports. And I'm just going to keep it just like that, very basic. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be installing Spline. So I'm just going to write this in the README. So I'm going to have to install the Spline. So I'll go to my terminal. And in my terminal, I will run the command. And that should work. If I go to my package.json, I should see spline tool react-spline in my dependencies now. Now let's try to actually add something with spline in our actual project. So let me see if I could. I'm going to also here in the main import spline. Because I will be using spline shortly when I'm done my design. So I'm going to go now to the online application. So what we're going to do right here, we're going to look at the Spline website just by going to spline.design. And you can see here has really nice animation. And this is pretty much something we're going to be looking at. And we're going to click on this Get Started. It's free. And on our dashboard here, you're going to see most likely nothing. There's a bunch of tutorials here you could check out and, look into. I'm just going to create a brand new file, so I'm going to click on New File here at the top right. So here we got the box. I'm just going to change the color. Let me see here. So if I scroll down on the right side, you can see I got this color. I'm going to click on it, double click it, and I should see this pop up. Click the X. I'm just going to get rid of it. I can add color assets, and then I'll double click this again. And I'll click that little toggle there. And I'm just going to see if I could find some sort of beige color. I don't know, it's just for the house color. Whatever works, this is good enough. And I could hold down the Alt key, and you can see here that I can change directions if I hold Alt and then drag. And I am going to use the extrusion just to, make it pop out a little bit more. And I think what I'll do, so here at the top we got a bunch of other, boxes, sphere, whatever other shapes. We can also click the plus here, and if you scroll down, you'll see all the different objects that we could use in our application here on Spline. I could just use a cube actually, it's probably going to be easier. So if I just click and drag, I think that's better if I have this cube. So I'm just going to delete this other one, and I'm just going to click that cube. I'm going to change the color. There we go. Apply that beige color. And I'm just going to rotate holding the Alt key. And what I'll do is I will make a pyramid. This is just going to be for the top of the house. Probably have to adjust this a little bit. But I will make this a little bit shorter here. Move this left or right as I need to. Left, right, down. And I'm going to rotate again just so I could see what's going on here. Rotate. And I'm just gonna think that might be okay. Okay, make sure it's not floating. So I'm just gonna use that little arrows to drag it up and down. It's a little bit big, so I'll do that. Use the Alt key to move it around a little bit. Okay, that should be good. And I'm just going to change the color of the top of the house. I think I'll just click X and then hit that plus button. And I'm just change it to like a darker brown color. So that kind of resembles our house. And if I use the Alt key, you could see I have a mini 3D little house. Now that we have this house, let's actually try to export this and see how we can add this into our Next.js project. So we can click on this button called Export up here, and we can see here there's this code export. And in this code export, we're going to change this dropdown from vanilla JavaScript to React. And here, you can see here we got the import for Spline, which we already added. And then we got this line of code right here. We only want to copy this Spline tag that contains a scene with its information. And we're going to add this line for Spline right here in the main of our application. And this is where it's going to link to this project, and it should automatically work. So let's actually go back here. There's one more thing. For place settings here, I want to click on place settings, and background color I want to hide. If you don't hide it, you're going to get this really gray background. So I'm going to click update code export. And then that should be okay. Now I'll go back to my application, and in my application in the terminal, I'm just going to write npm run dev so I can run the application. And it says right there we're going to go to localhost 3000. And there you go. We could see that we have our mini little house, and if I click, I can drag it and I can view it 360 degrees, and now it's part of my Next.js application.